Hi, welcome to Season 2 of Hutt Cartel. This time we are rejoined by 3 of our players, 2 of our previous characters, and a new face. Sadly, Crix Hera, the PC, could not be here, but luckily Crix Hera, the NPC, is. For those of you who watched last time, this is another Gauntlet scheduled game. We are playing with safety tools and with all of the usual stuff, open table, X card, lines and veils, and so on. I have gone over all of those off recording. You should do that too before you play your games. And if you like this, and if you're watching this at all, you've already heard of the Gauntlet, but you should come and play with us because it's great. But yes, we return to 1313, a hive of scum and villainy. Following the end of last season, Black Sun has been destroyed pretty much as an effective force. The Hutt Cartel is back in charge now with a new face of Inez, the beautiful Twi'lek dancer who has gone all the way up from dancer as part of a street gang to crime lord, and she has taken over Jaldar Ko's club 8 Lives, and she has her loyal friend and lover Etema at her side, and notorious previous crime lord Amara Tavi is now been moved up in the organization and is the contact, the connection between the 1313 branch of the Hutt Cartel and the other cartels that make up the Hutt concern. In terms of the wider setting, we are, sometime extended time after the Battle of Endor, but way before the actual liberation of Coruscant. Saint Pestage is still the Imperial leader, along with his Grand Council, the Imperial Ruling Circle, as Wikipedia tells me that they are called. And the rebellion, as represented by Etema, has kind of stalled its plans for Coruscant as some guy called Warlord Zinj and a bunch of others open up all these fronts across the galaxy, which leaves a lot of their agents on Coruscant out in the proverbial cold. But, down on 1313, the trade continues. It's much more peaceful than it used to be, but that's just about the time to make money in whole new ways and for old grudges to come back. Old grudges, which will soon show up, I am sure. So we will introduce the characters in character keeper order. If you could introduce those, your pronouns, your players' pronouns. Just like a sentence about you, and then I'd also like you to answer the question, what do you want? So let's start off with our new character, but returning player, Boxy.
Hi, my name's Steven. My pronouns are he, him. Today I'm playing Boxy, whose pronouns are also he, him. Boxy's a protocol droid who was in charge of the Sarlacc's belly as an NPC in prior games. And Boxy was owned by Inez, but Inez gave Boxy and the Sarlacc's belly, the fighting pit, to Etema as an anniversary gift.
Nice.
And Boxy wants freedom to autonomy to get out of this place.
Boxy wants autonomy, so you are loyal to Etema, it seems, to a degree, as we've discussed, but your ultimate goal is to be your own droid, your own. Yeah. Nice. Which brings us to Boxy's owner. Oh, and what pronouns should we use for Boxy? I was probably going to go with he because of the Star Wars convention.
He, him, but it's also very possible that anyone could use they or it or anything like that.
Yeah, cool. It's just, I'm crap at pronouns, I have to be honest with you, but I try my best. Etema.
Hey, I'm Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm part of the Gauntlet. You're watching my YouTube channel, so there you go. Hopefully you've seen some other stuff that I've played or run, all that good stuff. I am playing Etema or Etema. Her name is pronounced differently, uses she, her. She is a Ratataki. What's that? It's this gray-skinned, near-human humanoid that was introduced in a video game, but it's canon because money. and their world is extremely savage, but she's never stepped foot on it. She grew up in 1313. She was kind of pulled into the life of the cartel from a too young age and didn't have a whole lot of options. And then things went real bad and she was recruited by the rebellion. She went whole hog into that, thinking that it was a way to earn back some respectability, even though she was a spy. Then in the latest session, sorry, I'm going long. I'll make it faster. Anyway, she's lost her handler. It was her fault, and now she's in the wind. But she does have this really nice protocol droid, and she's kind of the lover of the crime lord, so that's okay. She's determined her own missions. She's going to keep doing the good thing. What does she want? She wants to be the righteous person at the end.
She wants to be the hero.
She wants to be the hero.
The hero. Nice. And then SCARA.
Yes, hello. I'm Anders, he, him. I am playing SCARA, she, them. She is the only human PC, I just realized, in this group. She grew up on the streets. She used to be a hawk in the previous season. Now she is the assassin because almost all of her gang died. And
that's what you wanted. You said, "Make me the right-hand man of the cartel."
I mean, if you're playing this kind of game and you have friends who are NPCs, you know they're going to die. Things will be terrible. Yeah. And what does she want? I think she just wants to feel a little bit of happiness again, maybe sometime.
Oof. Bad news for SCARA. And then finally, new player, Alexi.
Hi there. So I am Alexi, he, him. You can follow all my gaming endeavors online at Cloven Pine Games. Definitely check out Cloven Pine Games on itch.io and now on DriveThruRPG, where you can download The Great Soul Train Robbery, my game about desperados robbing the train to hell. Speaking of poor decision making, my character is SARAL MUUVA, the crooked CSF officer. She's been demoted / laterally moved, depending on who you ask, from being a Imperial Security Bureau agent to being a Coruscant Security Force officer. She's a character that was previously in a one-shot of Hutt Cartel back a while ago, and it turned out I could bring her back for this, so this is exciting. She is Chiss. She is, seemingly a officer of the law, trying to enforce the rules. But of course, like everyone, she's a little crooked. She's got different agendas. She's got contacts in the cartel. She's got investigations she's maybe trying to thwart. I think what she wants is to prove herself invaluable to at least one of her bosses, ideally more of them, and kind of carve out her niche here, working with the cartel, working with the security forces, and working secretly, on a little sub rosa with the Chiss ascendancy. Who knows what they want with Coruscant 1313, but she's in contact with her people.
Yes, kind of. I'm imagining the Chiss ascendancy as your kind of sleeper agents.
I think that's about right.
Deep cover. And I'm also, it occurs to me now that I think that a lot of your corruption was stuff that you did when you were the corrupt ISB agent, right? So as far as the CSF guys know, you're pretty clean.
It's a fresh start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And just for anybody who is watching, I recommend in particular that you check out Alexi's game Plutonian Shore, which has been used for a rip-roaring Star Wars game, which you can check out on Rich's channel as well. Anyway, so 1313. Boxy, you have a nice start of session move, and since we've just remembered that you start with 2 stress tracks, it always has an impact. Would you like to roll that? I think.
This is the stretch of downtime roll with hustle.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I rolled a 7 + 1 is 8. On a 7 to 9, one of my obligations becomes unmanageable, and you will tell me who might be able to assist. So my obligations are event planning, problem solving, and gossip.
Gossip.
Yeah. So let's say that I hear a good bit of news. Oh. I think we had talked a little bit about the there were some ISB agents that were trying to get off world.
Yeah, moths, whatever. I just high-ranking Imperials of all kinds.
Right. And I think that in this case, I've heard that news has probably gotten back to Inez and Etema.
Mm,
And that was
okay.
something that I hadn't informed Etema about before.
Okay.
How about that as a complication?
I like that. In terms of assist, I think it sounds like somebody who could help you cover up your own complicity here, right?
Mhm.
I think that's the man who told you, Gant Argon, who can vouch for the fact that he never said that. Not once. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
And by the way, I don't think getting back to Inez knows. Etema doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
I think we have another start of session move somewhere, don't we?
We do have another start. SARAL MUUVA has one. So, but let's do that as a scene, right? Which is Gan Argon loudly on his comlink while he's sat at the Sarlacc's belly, watching a pit fight between 2 Trandoshans and a Wampa. And he's like, yeah. And you see him lean back, put his feet up on the table, and he goes, yeah. Oh, yeah, those imps. Yeah, I got them off World Passage, no problem. Yeah, the creds clean as anything. ISB, they won't know a thing. The Rebs, they won't care either. Yeah, no problem. Oh, sorry, I didn't see Etema back there. Yeah. No, sure thing, boss. Sure thing. Yeah. So he's there. He's just let loose that. Why haven't you told Etema about this, Boxy? You're gonna have to make your move with him now when that this is going to be, in fact, mark of stress.
Yeah.
One thing that occurs to me is that the drug moves seem to be kind of off the board for the protocol droid. I will say that the protocol droid can get juiced, and you'll choose one of those to be like the variety of it, but it'll have a similar effect.
Fantastic.
Nice call.
Yeah. So do you guys want to do anything right now with or should we move across from that scene and you can think about it when we come back to you?
So I think Boxy knows a lot about what's going on in the Sarlacc's belly. So he knows, he first heard about the imps trying to get off world whenever they were trying to. And it sounds like has Gant actually gotten them off world, or he's still in the process?
Oh, this is like an ongoing thing.
Okay.
Some people have gone, some of the, it's a business, it's part of the business.
Yeah. So I think Proxy, because this is his domain, now knows that Etema heard this, right? Overheard this from Gant's behavior.
Yeah.
And I think
Oh, you know what? He wasn't on the phone to Etema, to Inez. He was on the phone to Etema. Etema picked up the call at 8 Lives and he said all of that. And he was like, tell the boss, Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that
he's so bad at his job.
I think that's when, so Boxy is going to send her weekly report, right, to Etema, and going to send it a little bit early and include this information in it, as if it's new information that Boxy didn't know before.
Okay.
Are you
So this
trying to
is-
justify your behavior?
I think that sounds like a justify your behavior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, we're doing it as a sort of as at a remove, I would say at this point. And I just want to say at the top level, right? Like we've set up sort of walls that weren't there previously because of Jaldarko was such a mess that there was no such thing. But I want to encourage people to remember not to stay far apart. You know, it can be easy in a game to do everything at a distance, and I enjoy it being there, but remember to not always go with that purely rational distance. But
Right,
let's do
so-
it.
Let's actually then, just to keep that in mind, let's actually say that Boxy reports directly to Etema, rather than sending a weekly, sending a message and saying, "Here's all the updates." He's going to go a little bit early. Where do you think you are, Etema?
So you're at 8 lives right now, right? Or
No, I'm
so-
at
oh.
the Sarlacc pit.
So I'm at 8 lives. I think I'm at 8 lives, and I've invited Trin to come out dancing.
And so I think that I arrived there, and the dance music's playing, it's busy, and I go, and I think we've established that the 8 Lives has like a back room. So I
Yeah.
go back to the back hallway and stand there long enough to get your attention, and then I'll turn and go into the back room and wait for you to arrive so that I can provide this
Cool.
report.
And I've gotten that calm, but I don't know if you overheard me having that conversation. So
That's right.
Yeah, that's cool.
But Etema, I can't let this pass. You've had Tren here, right? You're trying to
Yeah.
like have some, like maybe I don't know what your motivations are here particularly, like, but Tren, I know what her motivations are. It's thanks for inviting me out, Etema. I used to think you were so stuck up. You didn't know, you were trying to just like tell us what to do and where to go, but I guess it all worked out, right? I mean, for us at least, not for Laytil and Cyric. Here, drink with me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And Etema she's there. She's trying to wine and dine Tren to keep her happy because, a happy Tren means that SCARA isn't all cut off and alone. Yeah.
So you're going to lose yourself in a substance?
No, I'm
just
not.
going to.
I'm letting her lose herself, and then I've got to break off to go talk to Boxy. But Boxy waiting a few minutes, that's not a big deal.
Okay. I think we can just leave that as it is then, if you're not going to get. Yeah. Tren takes a thing, but when you excuse yourself, you see that she just looks, she dances for a second and she glances back over your shoulder. You see that it just suddenly collapses in on itself. That whole kind of facade of happiness and just living in the moment and everything. And you see her just rack up another 2 things.
Oh. Yeah.
We already moved past that moment.
Yeah, we moved past it. Yeah. I wouldn't go back to her, but I might on my way. Yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll make Boxy do it. That sounds good.
Nice. So Boxy, you give your report to Etema.
Yeah, so I think I tell them, I tell Etema, once you come in, I'm like, so there's been some talk about, encroachment. We're still cleaning up some of the Black Sun remnants that are left around. I think, I had to make my payment to the local police because they've been snooping around. I think they've increased it, but it's about the increase is about what we expect. I've seen some information about more of the imps trying to get off world. So maybe they're going to be less enforcers around, and that might be an advantage for us.
Really? You've learned some information about some Imperials, huh?
Yeah, they up the protection, and a bunch of them are trying to get off world too. Yeah.
You have to ask more of a question to.
Yeah, I want to know more about this. What do you know? Where where's the contact point? How are they getting off world? What's our cut?
Oh,
Trying to sound still like it's about the cartel.
Mm.
so let me know if I should roll a move at some point.
One thing we need to clarify, I think we should have done in the previous bit. Boxy, Etema, the rebel relationship. Does it seemed to me as though Boxy was aware at some level that Etema is part of the Rebel Alliance.
I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you, Rich.
You know, you've got a restraining bolt if I need to use it, and you haven't. I'm not aware you're recording it. I don't think you're going to burn me. And Etema is also the person who's like desperate to reveal so she can have comfort with somebody. So yeah, I think you know. She'll say, "Listen, Boxy, you know what I'm here for. This is huge. We need to dig into this. These imps, I'm glad they're going, but they're going to go somewhere else, right? This is exactly what I need. I want you to get more information. I want you to make it happen."
You want more of the imps to get off world?
No, I want to know, how are they getting off world? Who's getting off world? Where are they going? The whole kit and caboodle, all of it.
Oh, well, that's disappointing to hear, ma'am. But I understand your interest. You know this will be dangerous for you.
Yes, I know.
Okay, well, I don't think there's actually a move required there because Etema didn't go on the why didn't you tell me? So it didn't come up as a justify your behavior or get the truth.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the timing was wise enough. The droid has avoided my ire at this point. She's pretty excited about the opportunity.
But let's tell you what, let's roll a pressure someone.
Oh yeah.
Because Boxy's clearly got just enough autonomy to only fulfill your orders in spirit, not in practice, right? But let's see whether or not you can use your ownership enough to make it
Okay,
happen.
I've got to roll with hustle, which is flat for me. Here we go. Ah, that is a 10.
Nice. So that means that they have to go along with you or mark stress.
And that would be, I have to either feed back to you all the information I can find about the imps leaving.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to mark a stress.
You dirty thing, you. Love it.
Nice. Yeah, I would have said that as like you have to actively look out. You know what I mean? You have to take that beat and go for it, kind of thing. But now yes, sure, boss, I'll do that.
Yeah,
cool. And then before you go, Boxy, I'll say, looks like Trin might be getting messed up. Can you inform the staff to cut her off if things get too bad?
Oh, of course. And what would you like for me to do with Trin?
Just make sure she gets home safe.
Certainly. So I have a one of the gear I have is a nice speeder that I think I use to drive you around in, sort of as a chauffeur.
Nice.
And I'll use that to
well, we're gonna cut this scene here, I think, and then I'm gonna come back to you and Trent because I need to see how that goes, frankly.
Okay.
But yes, next up, SARAL MUUVA. Would you like to roll your start of session move?
Absolutely. Infiltration. At the start of session, roll with grit. On a hit, you get wind of an investigation before things get messy. On a 10+, you're positioned to take advantage of the situation. You have access to vital evidence, witnesses, or police personnel, your choice. On a miss, the department catches a hot lead on the cartel before you can intervene. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with grit to see how this goes. So that's 2d6 plus 1 for my grit. That's an 11.
It's an 11. Nice.
Everything's coming up SARAL here.
Okay, a case. an investigation before things get messy. Right. So, Officer MUUVA, you have been on the beat here in 1313 for a short amount of time. You know, you're very new on the streets as a CSF officer. Those in the know that you've been down here before as an ISB officer. But, you know, you're being introduced. You're finally being assigned a new partner. You've been operating solo until now. And PREFECT REX, the special protocol droid that is that leads the task, the 1313 task force, has called you in and sits you down in their office and says, "Welcome aboard, Officer MUUVA.
It's good to be here, Prefect.
It's good to have an honest, upstanding Imperial officer here, former Imperial, of course. I hope you know that I see this as a lateral move or even a promotion to my visual receptors.
But of course.
You may find your former colleagues in the Imperial Security Bureau do not hold the same opinion.
I know how to hold my own. Don't worry about me, Prefect.
Good. I'm assigning you a new partner.
Oh.
Officer Hera is waiting for you down in the speeder lot. Now, Crix Hera is, according to his record, one of our best agents. However, I warn you, his previous partners have not ended well. He is too close to too many things. My eyes are on Crix Hera, and I want your eyes to be on him too.
Understood, Prefect. I'll be sure to report if anything untoward goes on.
Your first, I'll send down your first task assignment when you meet down to your speeder, which is because I haven't thought of what investigation you've got yet. So
yeah, no worries.
But when you go down to your speeder, you see this tall human in a trench coat blast a scar across his face, smoking a stim stick and chatting with a Trandoshan. Who you recognize as Trusk, is it? Yes, Krusk. And they fist bump. And Krusk growls as you approach, and Krusk goes, hey, she's one of us now. She's no ISB, she's CSF. You keep that in line, Krusk. And Krusk growls and sneers at you, and then rolls his eyes and says, well, for you, Hera. If you've got her back, I guess she doesn't need to worry.
Crix Hera, I presume.
Yeah, I'm Crix Hera. You're the new partner, huh?
So I'm told.
And from what I'm told, you're my new boss.
I'm sure we can come to a satisfactory working arrangement.
Yeah, me too. From what I hear, you've already come to a few satisfactory working arrangements already down here.
It helps to stay informed of everything happening in 1313. Boss says there's an assignment coming to the speeder.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to get along fine, MUUVA. Just
Very
fine.
glad to hear it.
Yeah, so you hear about this bad batch that's going around? Killing off all kinds of trash on the streets. You know, normally they don't care as long as it's kept down here. But this stuff, it's strange. Making all kinds of people open their mouths in the wrong way, in the wrong places. I hear a Hutt even OD'd on the thing. And he had powerful friends. So, we've got a line on that cook.
Indeed. The source of this batch.
Yeah. Are you Navan? You know what? Actually, not a Univan. He hasn't got a source on this batch. Now, we haven't got a source on the cartel, but there was this old guy, Cook, back in the day, named, what was he called? He was called Vizik. Some real hotshot cook. Apparently he went over to Black Sun, but now Black Sun's gone. He's out in the wind. Bosses think we can pin this on him. Now, he leans in close. That's what the bosses want. But this Vizik, I hear he was the best. So maybe we can make some more money, we can get something better.
Yeah, so
Anyway,
takes this in. I see you're feeling sentimental about leaving someone of these skills to languish in the brig, huh?
yeah, I think they could be much more useful to us and to our mutual friends. And maybe, I could get back in their good books with your help. What are friends for, huh? And he is saying to you that he wants to take credit for this if we do it.
I see.
And I will point you towards, you can change that with pressure someone or propose a deal if you want some to alter that in some way. Or we can just play it out and see what happens without you making such arrangements.
No, I'm going to propose a deal.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate you laying your cards on the table, Officer Harrer. If we're going to have a working relationship, we're going to need to be ready to share. So I propose, yes, we look into this cook. We come to a determination about where the best place for a being of his skills and aptitude is, and we split the credit equitably, 50-50.
Roll with face.
Right. What is my face? My face is 1. Very good. That's also an 11.
Wow. It's going better for you guys so far than it did in the previous run. 11. So an 11. Take the deal as it stands, or mark stress.
I think I'm
He'll
being
take the deal.
very reasonable here.
Yeah, he'll take the deal. NPCs generally don't want to mark stress. They go mental if they mark stress, basically. Let me just double check. There's no appropriate. No, I don't think it's time for him to get angry or paranoid with you. So yes, he'll take the deal. Crix will stare at you for a second and then say, of course, we're partners. I wouldn't think of anything else. 50-50 is how it's always been in all of my partnerships.
Let's
Hey.
follow this lead.
You hear about how I single-handedly took down Black Sun as the speeder closes. Yeah. And his lead is that the wife of Cern Vizik has been spotted, who was previously on the radar. Her name is, I'll put them both in the thing, Ebla Vizik.
And is she the vital witness that I have access to thanks to my high infiltration roll?
I mean, so what you have, she is to an extent. She's not in hand yet. But you're ahead of it because it's your job, right? It's nobody else is working this beat.
Yeah.
You have police personnel. You have Crix.
Oh, great!
As well,
great. I've got my extremely reliable partner.
Yes, yeah. But the major benefit, you've got the access to all the stuff first, right? If somebody else got to her, they could pull this apart, right? But you're going to have a chance to play this for the cartel if you wish.
All right.
And then let's cut over to Etema, who has left downstairs and been called up to Inez office. And as you come in, you see a hologram of Amara Tavi staring back. And she looks at you and says, just the person we were talking about. Trust you'll deal with this, Inez. And Inez goes, of course, boss, of course. We will make everything right. It was simply a temporary blip in operations. We will make sure it is all things resume functioning as they should. And Amara Tavi says, good. I hate to introduce you to Crate. She hangs up. Crate is an assassin clone from the very first thing of all of this, just to do another indulgent continuity thing.
Yes, indulge.
But then Inez comes and looks at you and says, and she's colder than she normally is. Like she smiles and you see those little fangs and she says, Etema, honey, we have a problem.
We have a problem? What's the problem? How can I help? You look upset.
You remember, you and I, we have our own arrangement, yes? But it's not just our arrangement. It's the cartel's arrangement. And you promised that the weapons and the drugs would flow. But it's not happening. We've lost our off-world traffic, and with this bad batch that's going around, we need something.
Okay.
I can't keep her, Tavi, happy forever, you know?
I understand. And I'm working on it. Things have shifted. Do you know of any more local resources that we could squeeze? I could reach out to SCARA and we could shake somebody down.
There isn't a look about you kind of move, isn't there? There's a size someone up. Oh yeah, I tell you what she says. Well, our cooks have not been, because the spaceport stuff would help you, right?
Right.
So Amara Tavi is mostly interested in the drugs. They're not getting their off-world hookup anymore. We're not getting our off-world hookup anymore. And that fool of a cook, whatever he cooked up, is causing all kinds of trouble. If only there used to be, well, back in the old days, Jaldar had this connection. A Deveronian, Terran Vizik. He turned traitor. And he got rewarded, lifted all the way up to the upper levels. Find him. Bring him back.
Okay.
I hear his wife shared some sympathies with you.
That's good to know.
Now, let us go dance for a while.
Absolutely.
And she kisses you over the table,
Just turns it back on.
Yeah, turns it completely back on the second you say okay. Okay, SCARA, you're on the job. You are already there. There is this journalist that's kind of harmless most of the time, right? But it turns out that she's friends with Crix Hera, who knows far too much. And I don't know, you didn't cross the cartel? But journalist friends are not, they're not good. So you're been told by Inez to kill Bramir, 1313 gossip reporter who has done several pieces about 8 Lives, the glamorous place, you know? So you are on the job and you don't have the move that lets you hunt someone down, do you? No. Okay then. So Bramir is at, let's have a look at our places. Bramir is at the Uskru underbelly, reporting on this bad batch that's hit the streets, and you know, like, and for Underworld Entertainment, I'm Bramir, reporting to you live here from the Uskru underbelly, where, you know, be careful, partygoers, because there's a bad batch on the street. Don't take the brown paper, and do not take the yellow spice, because whew, I hear it's made some awful mess down here. But anyway, what's the best noodles you can get here on 1313? Stay tuned to find out. Cut. And she cuts off the little floating cam droid that she's got next to her. What do you do, SCARA?
Well, I think. Are there like regular security patrols down here?
Coruscant security enforces the law in the Uskru underbelly, more or less.
Yeah.
It's a very interconnected web of bribes and looking the other way, you know?
Yeah. Because I have the stolen CSF uniform.
Nice.
And people tend to just see the uniform when someone's in a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a holdout blaster. So SCARA's approach here is basically to go up to the team and, yeah, we have to get you out of here now. Try to like hustle them away from the public, and then just shoot her and run, basically.
Okay, so I think this is a precious one.
Sounds good. That's hustle. That's the thing I'm good at. So let's see, that's with a +2. And I get an 11.
An 11. They have to go along with you for now or mark stress. And she goes pale. And she just goes, and she makes a gesture to her droid. And the recording light turns off. And she says, okay, BP 203, you go back, okay? You go back now. What's, and the droid, you know, like beep, beep, shoot, flies off. And she turns and she says, so officer, what's this about? You need me to go somewhere?
Yeah, not everyone's happy with your reporting on this, on the drugs. It's just a precaution. If you'll just follow me here, and she'll kind of like push her towards just an area where there's less people, down an alley if she has to.
Yeah. I will say that anywhere in the Uskru underbelly is enough to have to roll that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just so that she's not shooting her right out in the street, just so it's a bit more
Okay.
off to the side where she can get where SCARA can get away reasonably quickly.
And I think that she stays frozen, right? Not knowing what to do really. She can feel she doesn't trust you, but she doesn't know what to do otherwise. So you grab her by the arm and she goes with you, you know, and you take her down the alleyway. And I mean, the Uskru underbelly, the move for the place is when you turn to violence in the Uskru by ambushing your enemies, roll plus hustle instead of savagery.
Excellent.
Nice.
I guess.
Okay.
So that is a 7.
A 7. Which means on a 7, you choose 2. Inflict terrible harm, suffer little harm, resist marking stress, or avoid collateral damage.
Avoid collateral damage, and I suspect I have to inflict terrible harm to actually kill her with a holdout blaster.
Yeah. And yeah, you know, you shove her up against the alleyway, and her eyes are looking around in panic, and she goes, "Wait, I don't think this is." And because you avoided collateral damage, there's no noise. You know, like a couple of people who are like drinking and smoking on the corner next to it hear the noise, and then they go back to drinking and smoking. No one cares, right? The harm that you take, I think that's just a point of stress. And I think the point of stress is...
And I have to mark stress just for doing the move, right?
Yeah, so it's 2 points of stress in total.
Yeah.
And the harm isn't physical harm. The harm is that look in her eyes. Doesn't it remind you of someone trusting that it'll all work out, that someone will come and save her in the end, and they didn't? Oh. Meanwhile, over in SARAL MUUVA's speeder, you are going through traffic when a recording droid suddenly flies up to the edge of Crix Hera's door, and you know, like beep beep beep, and he goes, oh, this won't take 1 second, and he pulls it over and he's like, yeah, come on, what? Bramir wants to go for a drink. Just show me, okay, you stupid piece of scrap. And then and it shows that Bramir gets picked up by a CSF officer that looks a lot like a very well-known assassin from the cartel.
Someone who there's an active investigation into.
And Crix just like his hands tighten on his blaster.
Isn't that SCARA, the up-jumped hawk that?
Yeah, and that's my friend. And he slaps on the sirens, and he breaks from where he's going with you, and he doesn't seem to care about you know, this cook anymore.
Crix, what are we doing?
You know what we're doing? We're doing our goddamn jobs. That's a cartel assassin, and that's a civilian down there. We gotta save them.
Crix, that's not our job. Not right now. We have a hot lead. If we leave her in the wind, we're not gonna seal this deal.
I think this is pressuring someone.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and roll with hustle to try and pressure Crix here.
Okay.
What is my hustle? It's 1. Great.
Nice. I enjoy terrible, terrible murder, by the way. And just
All right. Well, this one's a 6.
a 6. Yeah. He ignores you completely. He's just dry. He's like, just looks at you and says, "You don't even know where the line is, do you?" By the way, Crix Hera is full of shit. Don't take any of his morals as actually the morals. Like,
Yeah. No, it's,
Yeah.
so he's just totally dismissing what I said.
yeah, he's driving straight down there.
I'm gonna like slam his head against the like side of this thing, right? And be like, listen to me. We're working together. We're doing this like we agreed to. I don't care about your little friend.
So this was a surprise. I think you're dishing out a beatdown.
Yeah, that's what I was aiming for.
Yeah. Entirely, yeah.
Great. My savagery's -1, so this may go very badly, but
Yeah, you're not used to getting your hands dirty yourself, right?
yeah, but someone's gotta get Crix back on track here.
So roll plus savagery. Wow.
That's a 6.
Wow.
Is there XP on a miss in this game?
Nope.
Nope.
Sadly.
Just
Nope.
checking.
But do keep track of your keys and do make sure to mark XP because I found we often forgot to do that in play. We shouldn't wait until the end of a session because you could keep marking XP for the same thing over and over again, really, I would imagine. I don't think it's once a session mark XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's a different approach, I would say. I would allow that. So that's on you guys. Otherwise, we'll try and do a review at the end. But anyway, so the violence gets out of hand. You go for him and the droid like goes and then spins and flies out of the window, right? And Crix like pulls like the speeder, like twists and turns in the air and comes like slamming crashes into another one. And Crix gets it under control and pulls his blaster and holds it out at you and says, "Look, I don't want to get things off on the wrong foot here, but that's my friend. You ever had a friend?"
Once or twice.
Yeah. And do you wish you could have saved them?
Why do you assume my friends are dead, Crix?
2 ways this goes. I shoot you now, or we take care of this business and we go, yeah? And we can go back to our partnership. That sound good?
Well, that certainly would put a damper on our first day if you had to shoot me, huh?
Yeah, almost like if you tried to kill me.
It's just trying to get your attention back on what's important.
Oh yeah. Tick-tock. Yes, no.
All right, check on your friend.
Okay. And he reaches over, pulls out your blaster, gestures to the back of the car. You can sit back there. And yeah, by the time, well,
I'll do it.
Across back to this scene, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can resist, otherwise you have to go along with it, I think. But mark a stress.
Seems fair.
Yeah. Okay. Boxy, what are you doing?
So I left the meeting with
Yeah, and
Etema.
feel free, by the way, guys, to space out. where SARAL's now no longer got the lead on Vizek, that leaves it open to Etema to try and get there first, right? SCARA's killed her and is away, basically, you know, has exited that scene, I would say. So there's elastic time is what I'm trying to say, rather than moment by moment.
Yeah, so I think what I'm doing is I'm going into the bar to try and take care of.
Oh, Tren, of course, Tren. I
Tren.
forgot we put a pin in that. I apologize. Back to my own problem. I say elastic time and I forget I left a moment to moment scene. Tren.
No, it's
okay, fine. Tren. Yeah, Tren is getting like really like, you know, drunk. I mean, let's have a look at what the alcohol. Make a scene about how you've been wronged. That's what she's doing.
So I think I first go up. I follow Etema's instructions to the letter. I go up and I tell the bartender basically, and probably the bouncer as well, you know, cut her off. She gets no more. If you need to give her, you know, no alcohol stuff, she won't be able to tell the difference, but that way she won't cause more of a scene. And then I'll go over to Tran and I'll sit down with Tran. Oh yeah, okay. And I'll walk up to Tran and I'll say, you know, how are you doing today?
I want another drink. That's what I'm doing. I want another drink.
Etema tells me that you like to party. Would you like to go to a better party than this?
Go to a better party than this? And what does Bakuri look like? What race is Bakuri? I haven't filled that in yet. But Bakuri, however, we will define them in a moment. Some guy with a cane, you know, walks a limp. You see him order a round of drinks and raise them mockingly to Tren. And Tren like scowls and says, that piece of poodoo, he's always should have killed him when we had the chance. I swear he's the one who got late till.
Of course, you know.
Yeah. You want to go somewhere else? Yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying, Etema left a car for you, and I think that we can make sure to find a better place than this trash. To, you know, the clientele here is kind of trashy. Maybe we can find a better place to party.
She's staring daggers over at the other table. You know, it can be. I think this might even be propose a deal.
Oh yeah,
almost, okay. Because I think you're saying that you're going to supply. Do you intend? Is it a thing that you intend on following through on, like taking to somewhere else?
What I believe the instructions were to take her someplace safe. So my intention is to take her back to Etema's private quarters.
Okay, that's a precious one then.
Yeah.
I think propose a deal has to be in some level like a deal that you could go back on, but you're actually making. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just too many lies.
So I rolled an 8, and my hustle is a 1, so that makes it a 9.
A 9. You let something important slip as you bring your pressure to bear.
I think this is about Etema. Basically, Tren knows that Etema has given me these instructions, because I wouldn't just do this on my own, and she interprets this as more of a romantic, you know, oh, something's going to go on between the two of them. This is a clandestine thing. How do you like that?
Yeah, I like that. I think it's a slight twist on the move as written, but I like it because I think the important thing that you let slip is that Etema, you know, asked me to take care of you.
Exactly.
She's worried about you. Yeah, nice. And Tren goes, okay, yeah, maybe I could do with some fresh air. Okay.
Oh, and even better, did you have anything else you wanted to do as I left with Tran?
No. The result of that was to see whether or not she started a fight right there in the middle of 8 lives, which you would have been responsible for effectively. But yeah, no, she leaves.
Yeah, just to cause more trouble, I think I drop her off and go into Etema's private quarters with that, and then I'm going to message Etema. Etema, are you alone?
I think Etema's heading out. So yeah, she's in her moderate speeder when you
Okay.
message me.
I message you and tell her that I've got Tran at your place, and it's ready whenever you are.
Okay. Is that that's a little message that's blinking on Etema's comm, right? Like, yeah.
Carking stupid droid.
It could have been worse. You could have been with Inez whenever I messaged you that you had another woman at your place.
So we need to put in Cernvizik and Eblevizik as NPCs. In fact, I'll put them all both in the same line. These are Philip's old characters, by the way.
Nice. Boxy is my main contact with the cartel. Do I have a way to, to phone him?
Yes, you do. I don't think that you can do it from the prisoner's cage. So, what was that trend? And Ebla, and you left them there. Etema's going off. So, oh yes, Etema, what's your approach now?
So I've got the 411 on this old cook. And the wife. So
the wife, who's
yeah, I'm just,
you know, it's supposed to have your sympathies. And you know what? I'll let slip another thing. She used to volunteer down at Refuge 1313.
oh wow.
Before she went,
Okay.
she just vanished off the face of the earth in that big shootout at the rally. You know, when the Stormies came down and they nearly like, it was awful.
Okay. So I've got an approach. Yeah, I'm going directly into this. I don't know if it's perilous, but yeah, Etema, knowing she can't trust Boxy and Tren is jacked up and SCARA's working, she'll just try to find this wife. That's the best way to work up the ladder there. So yeah, that's where she's headed. If she's got a line, like I think Inez had said, I know the wife is around.
Yeah, she did, yeah. Okay.
So I think Etema like pulls her clothes on, like where they're a little less revealing, and tries to play this like she's concerned about an old friend.
When you get to Refuge 1313, it is badly, like it's, you know, it's seen some bad days. It doesn't seem to be getting money anymore. And you've been so caught up in everything that you forgot to check in. Astapone was the one keeping this place going. Astapone's gone.
Yeah, she was.
And there are like a heart distraught Ithorian family standing in the middle of the room as Payden Fenn steps out with a medical droid and shakes his head and says, well, I'm afraid it's this bad batch that's going around. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you. I mean, no, Payden, you wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
If people come to you, are you able to help them?
Less and less.
I'm sorry. We're working on getting everything off the street, of course.
Doesn't even say anything to that. Unless you want to justify your behavior.
Yeah, kind of feel like I need to, Dave. Like this matters to me. So I think I've got to roll a face and see if he'll take that. I've got a 1 in face. Let's see how it goes. It's a 7.
That's a 7. So on a 7 for justify your behavior, they have a few questions. Mark a stress if you answer with anything other than total honesty.
Okay.
So you're trying to clear things off the streets. That's what you're saying to me. Yeah? Well, how about your girlfriend?
What about Inez?
Is she
She's-
trying to clear these streets up?
Yeah.
I'm an old man, Etema.
Listen. Is she trying to take drugs off the street? No. Is she making sure that people don't get killed taking the product? Yes.
Well phrased. You don't think, and he says, you know the product kills people anyways.
Yeah.
You're gonna help these people?
One step at a time, Baden.
What do you want?
There's an old cook. Inez doesn't trust the person who created this bad batch. His wife's here. I'm here to talk to her. See if we can work something out. That's it.
Elba.
Yeah. So you know her.
Yeah. And he looks at you. And then we're going to take this as part of the justify your behavior thing still, right?
Ooh, okay.
Because I think we established you got a close enough relationship beforehand that he'd be willing to put you in touch at least. You wouldn't need to pressure someone. And you've answered those very well. You didn't have to mark a stress. He says, will you keep her safe?
Yeah.
No matter what.
That's awfully broad ask. Come on, Baden. This is the wife of the new cook. I keep her happy. I keep him happy. If she dies, he's not going to work for us. He's already retired.
You think she wants to stay in this life? You'll get her out of here.
If I get Elba out of here, her man will stay here, cook, train up somebody new for us.
He's no good. I don't care what you do with that piece of cisbit. He had his chance. She's a good woman, though. She's helping people, Etema. So I ask you again, will you save her from this?
And then I lie. I'll do what I can.
Okay, I lack stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just keeping an eye on the time, I think we will cut there. Back to SARAL MUUVA and Crix. Crix pulls the speeder in and stops it. And he doesn't let you out of the door. He just gets out and walks off. It's going to take you a few, like you can get out of here now that he's gone, but it's going to take you some moments. When by the time you do, he's already called it in. From his dead body is there on the ground. And that droid went straight to the CSF. And Crix looks down at the body. And he holds Premier and he looks at you. He says, we were too late anyways.
I'm sorry.
They're going to pay, MUUVA. They're going to pay. Now let's go find that rebel scum. I need something to get my hands on.
I'll nod, and you know, hang a moment to just place a call to Boxy.
Well, no, I think that's where we'll cut for the day, because we're ending in 9 minutes, I believe, right? That seems
Cool.
as good a time as any to cut. But you're going to let Boxy, you're going to keep Boxy in the loop immediately.
I'm going to tell Boxy to tell SCARA that she is that she's not safe, and that someone who's who isn't playing by the rules is gunning for her.
Okay. Are you going to tell it it's Crix?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
So I think what was the NPC's name that I'm at Etema's place, and Tran is out of her mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she sees me open like a little secret compartment and take a call from SARAL, right?
Mm-hmm.
She can't quite make out what it is, and then I hide this communicator again. This is an encrypted communicator that I have, and then I pull out a second one and I place a call, and she hears that I'm talking to SCARA. So that's something that she could potentially report back to Etema.
Tren knows, basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah. It's drug-addled, but knows. Yeah.
Yeah. Crix. Okay. And I think that's where we call it, right? Okay. So just to remind myself quickly, we need to pick up with Etema and Elba. Needs to be the top of the scene next time, because I feel like that's the end of the scene by scene thing, right? And maybe I think SARAL is unfortunately, thanks to those series of misses at the most important points, kind of far on the back foot on that one, sadly.
Oh yeah. I lost my golden chance there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's end the recording and say goodbye to the internet, guys.
Goodbye, internet.